Alright, now, as I explained in a couple of videos about the Higgs field, now the area of space is cubic, okay? It's basically got 6 dimensions, but when you turn it off center, you have 6 more dimensions, okay? So you end up with this, Metatron's cube, or the perfect square. See what I'm saying? Or the square circled. However you want to look at it, circling the square. You know, there's all kinds of ways to describe it. Okay, ironically, this is what you hit. Get up, get out of this. Now, this is basically the Star of Astaroth, or the Sigil of the Beast. This right here. Now, I figured all this out way before I even figured this out. I figured this out just about a month ago. Ironically, and aleister Crowley and the beast and all of that, it ties into that. Like I've been saying about the pyramids being the beast, and this knowledge is basically what killed us before. This is the 666 and all of that. Now, most of these people that are Satanists or whatever take it to this level of satanic ritual and all this evil shit and all that, yada, 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 instead of understanding that it's science. Okay, they understand it as some kind of evil ritual shit, sacrificing and all that, which is retarded. I mean, all that is retarded. Aleister Crowley. Ironically, everything I've been studying and I've been figuring out has led me to Aleister Crowley, which led me to this Sigil of the Beast. Now, either he studied a lot of stuff and figured out the same science, but he just had such an evil heart that he turned it into all of this evil satanic shit, or he figured this same stuff out and was trying to pass off the science and open people's eyes, but people thought it was all evil and everything, like most generally they do. And people take things the wrong way, way too much. Here's the Star of Astaroth. Ironically, you know, it just seems weird that, I mean, I literally started all of this with no knowledge at all of any of this stuff. And I uncovered this stuff on my own without a lot of this information. And then it led me to figuring out the same stuff that literally was figured out a long time ago by these supposedly evil people, you know. So it's just weird how I've figured out the same stuff. I mean, by studying science and ancient religions and stuff like that, and even Tesla's work and Heisenberg's work, you know. So I think it's literally been suppressed, and anytime someone tries to put it out there, they are slandered down and made out to be some kind of crazy lunatic, when all they're trying to do is open people's eyes, like I'm trying to do. And that's why people call me a lunatic and act like I'm crazy and judge me all the damn time, like I'm some fucking nutcase, when all I'm trying to do is bring some real science to the world that is being suppressed. I'm not evil by any means, okay? I actually care about the people. I don't like our government, the way our country is ran. It's freaking management, but I love my country itself. I'm more of a patriot for the people, a people's patriot, rather than a patriot for the country, because the country is fucking over the people, and the people do not deserve this shit. We don't. See, this would literally be the Higgs field. That's the science aspect of all this. It's the Higgs field. Why do you think when it comes to space and, like, say Star Trek, for example, the Borg cube? Why would they have the Borg cube? It's just a floating cube in space. Because they know something. The area of space is more cubic. It's cubic. It's literally bicubic. Quadritriangular. I mean, it's got 12 dimensions. Literally. Because 2 cubes together would be 12 points. And inside each one of these points, you have an infinite amount of dimensions. Space itself has infinite dimensions. But there are 12 that we would actually be able to comprehend in space. There's the cubic area, and then there's an off-centered cubic area. See what I'm saying? So literally, I figured this out with the Higgs field way before I ever figured this out with the Star of Sigil or the Star of Astaroth and all this. And then, ironically, whenever I figured this stuff out, it ended up leading me to the Guidestones, which, like I posted on that video, everything leads back to 6, and it's got 10 commandments. They say is like the commandments of the Antichrist or something, you know? It's not evil. It's the beast and all that stuff. It's not evil. It's whatever we choose to feed You know, that we have potential for good and bad in us. It's what we choose. If we choose good, then it doesn't have to be bad. If we choose bad, then it's not gonna be good. 666, square of the sun. The chakras, the solar chakra. You know, the angel number. You know, it's not that 666 is evil. It's that man is evil. And we eventually choose the wrong path, basically. But I'm not going to consider that. I'm not going to accept that. I know that that's possible. But I want to accept the fact that possibly there's good in mankind, and maybe we can succeed and not destroy ourselves. I'm just hoping that I'm not foolish to even think that, which I'm leaning towards I might just be. See, there's always a trinity, and there's always a trinity of trinities, and 369 is a trinity of trinities. Now, it doesn't have to be an unholy trinity. This is actually a holy trinity, because this is what creates, and it uses alpha and omega to create. See, there's always the X and Y factor. You always have your Y and you have your X axis. And everything, it's a binary universe. There's always the X and Y factors. Now, ironically, doesn't that look like the symbol in Captain Planet? Earth, air, fire, and water. And then you have heart, which is plasma. That's life, ironically. And that's what I'm saying in here. The fourth state of matter, the fifth element, life. So it all coincides. The industry, the film industry knows. They know the truth. They suppress it. It's the big picture. And the Vatican harbors this stuff. Miles of records of this stuff. See? Captain Planet, you know. But it's not Captain Planet. I'm not, you know. They want... Look, the fact that I'm saying this looks a lot like Captain Planet, but it really applies to cosmology and physics and all of this, this would make people think that I'm crazy because it's on a cartoon. That's what hiding it in the plain sight does. It gives that doubt to people. So whenever somebody actually does catch on, then nobody's going to believe it. Just throwing this out there. Radium, ironically, 88 miles per hour in a capacitor, arc capacitor, the flux capacitor, the sixth element in group 2. Alpha particles, alpha and omega. So, kind of ironic, huh? So this is like the perfect square, you know. The four fundamental forces are perfect, because if they weren't, then we wouldn't have everything that we have now. This means God is infallible. God is not imperfect, because if this God or this creator wasn't, then we wouldn't have everything we have now, because everything is fine-tuned. That's what this means. See, it's not like God's a floating man. Like I said, it's this quantum nature of the universe. So I'm basically teaching everything that Aleister Crowley taught, but with a different kind of message. It's not evil. I'm actually trying to create some kind of peace here through this information that is being suppressed. Now, when you have a universe that reduces to ash, that it's just going to be carbon. Now, a diamond is an allotrope of carbon. And this looks a lot like a diamond, but it's a neutron star. And then there's that theory that neutron stars are the key to understanding the singularity in the universe. Well, this is why. This is exactly why. But they don't understand. They just see that there's a connection somewhere. But this is the connection. This I'm elaborating on what they're not understanding, what they're only theorizing and suspecting. Now, ironically, a pyramid... Some bitch is loud. Anyway, so we know that the pyramid is an 8-sided pyramid. Okay, it's actually got 8 sides. It's not just one pyramid. So at the equinox, you can see all 4 sides. It mirrors this. It's got 8 sides. This has got 8 sides. See what I'm saying? There's a bigger connection, a bigger picture that everything connects to. See, this would be how the pyramid is laid out with the 8 sides. It's almost like there's an off-center pyramid on the inside of it. And that's why it has 8 sides. See what I'm saying? And like I was saying, it's ironic that this looks just like a motherboard. And ironically, how I've been saying that we are stars, a biostar. We are a biostar. Okay, we have a biostar living in us. We are the nuclear and electric energy. That's bionuclear and bioelectric. The motherboard brands are biostar and microstar. And we have a soul, which is the microstar, the light, the inner light that lives inside us. So it's all connected. Even our technology. It's either, like I was saying, we're either doing the same thing over again, not realizing it, or these ideas are actually coming to us from a source. And I believe that's the Vatican. The Catholic churches, there is no knowledge that's not power. They have the knowledge, therefore they have the power. And the Catholic churches rule this planet. I don't care who believes that or not. That's one of the problems that we have. The Catholic churches have way too much power. They have this knowledge and they won't give it to anyone. They won't let us know. They're giving it to special people that buy this information or whatever, but I just don't believe that, it should be suppressed the way it is. I believe we all have the right to know our own history and not all this bullshit that they keep feeding us. All these lies in books. Humans are intelligent. We've been intelligent for many thousands of years. We're not just going to sit around for thousands and thousands of years and all of a sudden 200 years ago, 150 years ago, just say, you know what? Let's start inventing stuff. Let's start doing some things. No, they were doing this for a long time, but the Catholic churches were killing people and burning people as witches whenever they started. Even if somebody made just a regular galvanized cell, like just a Leyden jar, they were probably murdered and burnt at the stake for freaking as being a heretic or a witch or something, for black magic. Because this is where black magic or magic comes from. It's technology. And like Aleister Crowley, I am basically starting some, like what I would consider an occult, or a religion, but it's not necessarily something evil. What it is knowledge. It's understanding all of this stuff, and I call it chronotheism, because it's based off the fact that space is infinite, fathomless existence that has the ability to create. Space is what we all exist in. The beginning and the end is space, nuclear, and electric energy. And this is where the idea and concept of God comes from. So, yes, I came up with my own little religion based off of truth and scientific facts. I'm just doing it for a good reason, to create some kind of peace, because people tend to be fighting over all this stuff when there's no sense in fighting over it and arguing over it and killing and all of these crimes and all of the heartache in the world. For what? To say, oh, my God's right and your God's wrong, when they're all talking about the exact same stuff.